Well, it looks like with the evidence that we got within this episode of Attack on Titan, the Beast Titan isn't the only Titan able to actually communicate and actually make words and sentences in order to talk with people, because within this episode, we see that feeble-legged and armed Titan actually talked to Connie, and it says the line, "Welcome home." So I believe that the theory I had in my last video talking about how a lot of these Titans seem to just have popped up out of nowhere, about how maybe the Beast Titan came in and actually turned all of these villagers, including Connie's family, into Titans, and all the Titans that maybe that we've been fighting this whole time are just people being turned into Titans, and as we learn within this episode, there is no breach within the wall. So much to dive to within this episode. So how is it going, guys? How is your morning right now? I'm getting a little late to this episode because I had to get stuff done early in the morning. But Attack on Titan Season 2, Episode 3, Episode 28 in total. This seems to be mostly a setup episode because it seems to just moving the chess pieces along the board. And I feel like the next episode we're going to be getting next week is going to be very action-packed because we're left off with that cliffhanger of everyone like Reiner, Bertolt, Ymir, Christa, and Connie all trapped within this castle, this abandoned castle in the middle of Wall Rose and Wall Cena, and we just have all these Titans actually moving in, and we see the Beast Titan off in the distance actually climbing up Wall Rose and leaving. So we know for a fact that the Beast Titan is not from within the walls because he has no idea about 3D maneuver gear, and it seems to be that he's heading back to whatever land or village or country that he comes from, because there has to be something outside these walls that we just don't know about. There's so much mystery, so much stuff that we don't know about the world of Attack on Titan, and what I love about this season so far is that we're slowly getting answers to a lot of the questions we had back in Season 1. I love this episode. Yes, it is a setup episode, not too much action involved, but what we got in dialogue and information I think is crucial to moving forward and actually coming to understand more about the Attack on Titan world. So like I kind of said earlier, with Connie talking to this Titan and it mentioning the phrase "welcome home," it leads to the fact that maybe Wall Rose has not been breached, because as we go throughout this episode, a lot of characters are, scouting the walls, going all the way around it, and basically coming to the realization they can't find a hole, they can't find a breach, and even we get to see a lot of characters back from Season 1, including that commander that tried to kill Eren, Mikasa, and Armin when, they thought Eren was a Titan, but also the girl soldier who was in charge of leading Mikasa and Eren over to the boulder so that way they could end up saving Trost District. We get to see those characters again, and even they are starting to question the fact is like, where is this breach? No one can find this breach in the wall, and even our main characters of like Reiner, Connie, and Bertolt, Ymir, and Christa with their scouting recruits and like the commanders that are leading them, they too cannot find the hole in the wall, and this is baffling a lot of the characters. So it makes you kind of think, going back to even my theory, that these Titans have to be people that have just recently turned into Titans, and it kind of goes to how Dr. Yeager, Eren's dad, had that serum that he gave to Eren, and I believe it has something to do with that. So I love this episode too because the answers that we're getting and just the way I'm able to speculate on what is to come in the future of Attack on Titan, this makes it really a lot of fun for me because I really have no idea what's going to be coming, and I can just like theorize and speculate, and it just makes it overall fun. But there seems to be some mystery right now around Christa and Ymir, because there's a weird moment to where everyone's within the castle when the Titans are moving in, and Reiner's looking at Ymir like with a very angry look, and he's like looking at her like, what did you do? It's like she did something right now and we just don't know what, and Reiner is pissed at her, and she gave like a dirty look right back to him. But then we also had a moment like earlier on in the episode with Christa and Ymir about why they joined the Survey Corps, and there seems to be some mystery going on right now with Christa and Ymir, and I feel like there's going to be a lot of information coming to the surface in future episodes concerning these two characters, and I'm really excited to see that because Christa also seems to be involved with the priests of the walls in some way, because when we go over to the Eren, Mikasa, and Armin, Levi, and Hanji group, they're like showing the priests of the walls the devastation, how they had to evacuate all of these people, and how the Titans affect everyone on a day-to-day basis. And it's kind of odd to think that the priest in the walls has no idea about this, considering that we've already had a wall breached And he has no idea about this. But moving forward, he ends up like giving a little bit of information to Hanji, because right now, like, he hasn't been giving anything at all to the Survey Corps. He's trying to keep his mouth shut, and he's basically saying, like, I have so much information that it's not enough for one man to just give out to everyone and just cause chaos. But what he ends up giving to a lot of our characters right now is the name of a person that could have the answers to what they're looking for about the walls, about why everything is set up the way it is. And apparently it's Christa, I believe. It's either Christa or Ymir, but I believe they're talking about Christa because they end up talking about, you know, a cute girl that's short with blonde hair. It's Christa. So basically, from this information that we get, they're looking for Christa right now for the answers to the answers of the walls, why Titans are in them. But then we also had Sasha show up. So she's now with the group of Eren, Mikasa, and Armin. But I love the fact when she shows up, like, everyone's kind of just ignoring her, and they're just kind of amazed at the name that the priest gave them. And then, you know, they end up running into Sasha. I feel so bad for her, but she ends up getting a big reward because she comes in, gives Hanji the note, the letter of everything that has been happening, and she gets the reward to the best reward possible for Sasha, a potato, and she just goes to town eating it. I absolutely love that part. I was not expecting her to actually have a potato as a reward for actually delivering the letter safely to Hanji. I thought that was a great moment. But we have Hanji, Eren, not Levi, Mikasa, Armin, and Sasha are about to head over to the castle, and they're going to be looking for Christa for the answers that they're looking for, because Levi, I love this moment too when Levi is just telling everyone's like, Armin, he knows Armin's smart, so he's like, you team up with Hanji, combine your minds, and come up with the best plan possible. You two are going to be the strategists of the group. He looks at Mikasa and goes, Mikasa, I know you have this infatuation for Eren. I don't know where that comes from, but use that to your advantage and protect Eren with your life. And Mikasa's like, I will do that. You don't even have to tell Mikasa to do that. She's going to do that no matter what. And then looks at Eren and says, Eren, don't go berserk like last time. Keep a level head. Do not use your anger just to fuel you, and keep the goal of the mission in check. And I really hope that Eren ends up doing that, but I feel like something's going to happen to where Eren ends up losing his mind, he goes into a blind rage, and then ends up doing something that he wasn't supposed to do, because that's just what Eren does. So there's a lot of things that they're going on within this episode, and everyone seems to be converging on this ruined castle to where we have all these Titans that turns out can actually move at night. And from the information we got within this episode, and I think what we got in in season 1, is that Titans need sunlight. It gives them energy, and they're able to move around. And when it's nighttime, they don't move around as much. But in this episode, these Titans are like nocturnal creatures, because they're still moving, they're grooving, and they're heading towards the castle trying to knock it down. And so we're just left with the cliffhanger of Reiner, Bertolt, Ymir, Christa, and Connie, with all of the people guarding them, about to go in and fight the Titans. We don't have our main characters going in because they don't have 3D maneuver gear. We have Eren, Mikasa, Armin, and Hanji, including Sasha, heading to that location as we speak. And then we just have all these Titans that are able to move at night, and the Beast Titan off in the distance, climbing up wall rows, and he seems to just be leaving the situation right now, probably taking the 3D maneuver gear that he ended up stealing from Mika and bringing that to wherever it is that he's from. So much stuff is being set up within this episode, and also the information being confirmed that the walls are made of Titans, and that they're going to be using Eren, who has apparently now has the Titan ability to actually harden and crystallize and actually, you know, build up the walls again. I didn't know that he had that, but so much information has been brought to light within this episode. Again, like I said, this is very much a setup episode, but I enjoy the information that we got, and I'm really, really hyped to see what episode 4 is going to bring us when all of these parties coalesce at this castle, and then just all of the mystery and the answers we're probably going to get once these characters reconnect and actually, you know, trying to solve the situation at hand. I think it's going to be very, very cool. Very good episode, and I'm just really looking forward to the next episode, guys. So what are your thoughts on this overall episode? Did you see it more as a setup episode as well? And did you enjoy the information that got dropped on us, you know, about certain mysteries, certain questions we had about season 1 events, and even as the season 2 has been moving along, now we're starting to get answers now, which I think is much needed and very overdue, because season 1 provided none of that. So leave your thoughts in the comments below. I'm really looking forward to the next episode, and if you guys are fans of Attack on Titan and feel like subscribing, feel free to do so. I love talking with you guys down in the comments, and I'm just really, really looking forward to episode 4 next week. So that's the end of this review, guys. Until episode 4 next week, I'll talk with you guys then. All right, guys. See you later.